So let's put your hand together and welcome Mr. They call him Dr. David Pastor Goh. We got a lot of title. The Japanese raised a tree, and it was called the bonsai tree. While the American raised another tree, it was called the General Sherman. The bonsai tree and the General Sherman at one time weighs only the same, because when they were just seed, it was just a small seeds. They grew together. But both the seed received the same resources: water, sunshine, water, sunshine. But over the years, the Japanese raised that particular bonsai tree. It's only 1.5 feet tall. While the American raised that particular tree, called a General Sherman, it went up to about 400 feet high. Now, the question over here is, how come the Japanese bonsai tree is only 1.5 feet, while the American General Sherman went up to 400 feet? Why? Because it has been conditions. Most of these Japanese like to condition their trees so that it has got certain value. Every time when there is a twig that comes out, it cuts it off. Every time when there is a branch that comes out, it cuts it off. It trims, it cuts, and it keeps trimming. And until this particular tree won't grow any further, that remains a conditioned bonsai tree. While the General Sherman was left free to grow. Water, sunshine, and every day is just letting it to grow. So ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you, if you have a choice to become a tree, what kind of tree would you like to be? A General Sherman or a bonsai tree? A General Sherman can build 400 houses with those planks. With the branch, with that particular trunk that they can make it into plank, they can build about 400 houses. So which kind of tree would you like to be? A bonsai tree or a General Sherman? Bonsai. You want to be a bonsai tree? To me, I would like to be a General Sherman because I'm going to be the one who is going to grow wild and grow tall and grow big. Why? Because there's a certain power within us. And that power, we are made to grow. We are made to grow. Is this working or not? This is not working. Okay. So there is a certain power within us, and that power is for us to, because we are built to grow. We are built to become better. We are built to become forward marching, simply because when God created us, had He wanted us to walk backward, He would have planted our eyes at the back of our head. The reason why He planted our eyes in the front is because He wants us to march forward. We wanted, and we have always been going forward. Let me just talk to you a little bit about this particular picture here. The river that cuts across two cities. This particular river that cuts across two cities, from city A to city B, the only means is by the boat. The only means of transportation is by that particular small sampan. And in that small sampan, there is this young boy oaring that particular sampan, taking that particular person, a passenger, over to the other side. So there was one day, this particular man, an old man who came, and he asked, he told him, I want to go to city B. And he said $1. So the man went on to the boat, and the young man began to oar. As he began to oar, as you know, that most old men would like to talk. And he find ways to strike up a conversation. And suddenly he was trying to look for a cue to where he can go in and start talking to the young man. And suddenly he saw some leaves that float down the river. He picked up one of the leaves and studied the contour of the leaves, and it's a dry leaves anyway. Studied for a while. He turned to the young man and said, son, do you know anything about botany? The young man has never been to school. All his life is just orange board. He said, I'm so sorry, I don't know anything about botany. He said, do you realize that you have wasted 25% of your life not knowing anything about botany? Young man began to awe again. And this time, the old man picked up a small pebble, small stone. And the small stone, he studied the stone for a while, turned to the young man and said, son, do you know anything about mineralogy? Again now, he says, sir, I don't know anything about this stuff. He said, what's wrong with you people? Do you ever go to school? Do you realize that you wasted 50% of your life not knowing anything about botany and mineralogy? Young man all harder now. Oh, he all faster because he just want to get rid of the old man now. Talk too much. You all faster. And now all of us, well, suddenly the sky was just getting darker. It's towards the evening, the sky was getting darker. And when the old man began to look up into the sky, he saw a lot of stars. Young man was so excited, he said, stars. And an old man came in and said, do you know anything about astronomy? Oh, so I don't know anything about astronomy. You see, that's the trouble with with you young people today. You don't know anything about astronomy. You don't know anything about botany. You don't know anything about mineralogy. Do you know that you have wasted 75% of your life? At that particular moment, when he took the second oar, suddenly there was a different movement. The behavior of the water now changes. When the water changes, the fishes started swimming very fast, and then we begin to see all this particular current, undercurrent was just going fast. And suddenly he heard that particular loud sound, the dam burst. When the dam burst, the tons of water now is just rushing through. When the tons of water was just coming through, young man knew that the dam burst. If the dam burst, the water is going to kill them. So he quickly stood up from the boat. He wanted to jump into the river and swim towards the closest bank. And just before he jumped, he looked at the old man who was sitting there. He says, sir, do you know how to swim? Guess what is the answer? No, I don't know how to swim. Well, I guess you're about to lose 100% of your life now. You see, this particular picture tells us what? It's not what you know, but what you do with what we know. It's not what you know. A lot of us knows a lot of things here. It's what we do with what we know. When we are in this particular trade, for me, I've been brought up. Well, actually, I failed my LCE a long time ago. I'm not going to get into that part lah. Very shameful, okay? I failed my LCE. You know what is the LCE, kan? Huh? Kereta api. Okay, Form 3. Now, LCE, those days we call it Lower Certificate of Enthusiasm. Very excited because when you are not prepared for the exam, you always are very excited because you learn to copy. Yeah. I failed my LCE. I came out, I worked as a laborer, but then after that, I was recruited to become a salesman. I'm a pure salesman, a pure breed salesman. I'm trained to sell. I'm trained to take the tenacity. I'm trained to persevere. I'm trained for hardship. I'm trained to talk to strangers. I'm trained in that manner. Time Magazine, we were selling Time Magazine. After Time Magazine, I was selling pots and pans. Now, Time Magazine, when I was selling Time Magazine, the Japanese trainer was there, American trainers were there, Filipino were there, all kinds of trainers. Time Magazine would send their trainers in and train us. So I'm a pure breed salesman. I go out there, I sell. So, but then when I came into this particular business, when I came into the Inagi business, especially selling the M-Guard, I told you already, I'm just a salesman. So for the first 20 over days, 20, 30 days. No. For the first 2 months, 2 over months, we just went out there to sell and sell and sell and sell. I mean, we sold probably about 30 some units. Just sell. For me, it's like, I'm not there to go and recruit. I'm not there to go and do any other thing except to sell. We made some good money out of that. But then now I realize that this is a network marketing. This is something to do with, you must go out there to recruit. So if you want to expand in this business, you must recruit. So the way to go and do this particular business is that you need to go and recruit. So now this is a mind shift again. For me, I have got to start changing my mind shift towards this particular area. To go and recruit. It's something that is not, I'm not trained in that area. But sure enough, just now you said the 52 ways to make more money in network marketing. I was a consultant. We do a lot of consulting work for corporate companies, for Forever Living products, for all those big American companies that where I was involved in the corporate work. There, we're just behind the scene. But as far as this is concerned, this is about, if you want to become successful, it's all about going out there to recruit the right people. Now, it's not what you know, but what you do with what you know. A lot of us here attended seminars. A lot of us here have been to university. A lot of us here have been to colleges and then came out. This is what you do with what you know. But not everyone who was in the university, you studied that subject and you came out, ended up in that profession. Now there's power within us. That particular power must be executed. That particular power within us, if it is not executed, then we become powerless. We are just another person just walking on this particular earth. Now, this is called the path. I call it the path simply because this particular path we are walking. Listen, by the end of your journey, you are alone. It doesn't matter whether you bore 5, 6, 7 children. It doesn't matter. But in this particular path, you walk all by yourself. Not your spouse, not your sibling, not your parents. You are going to walk this particular path by yourself. And when you are walking in this particular path, there will be people who is going to pull you down. There will be people who is going to pep you up. There will be people who is going to step you on the back. There will be people who is going to push you aside. But there will be people who is going to uplift you. But there will also be people sitting by the roadside. And because of your compassion, because of your emotion, you slow down your path. You were trying to help them. But at the end, this is your path. Until you learn to harness the power within you, and until you learn to harness the power within you, you are going to walk in that path without looking left or right. Because you are so concerned in finishing your purpose. Towards the end is about receiving whatever that your heart has already set out right from the very beginning. You came in here, I'm sure money is not just, initially it was the money. Initially you came in is because of the money. But after some time, when you start to make the money, money is no longer that particular issue. It becomes something else. It becomes something else. You see, I learned so much about 𝐶𝐻, who has made a lot of money. But 𝐶𝐻 is still continuing to do this particular business for one reason only. And that reason is because he has got other people who is learning the trade. So it's not about him anymore. So when you begin to go out there to go and get people to be involved in this particular business, after some time, when you have already started making money, it is about them. That's why you go to work. It is about them. Why do you think there are some people who have already retired and yet they still go out there to work? I wrote a book called the third wave motivation. Let me just emphasize the third wave motivation. The first wave. First wave is where your forefathers come from. China, from India. They come into this particular land, and then they start digging. They found tin. They start digging. They found gemstone. And from there, they sold the tin, sold the gemstone. After that, with the money, where do they keep? Huh? They send back to their mainland. They send back to their mainland. For what? To bring their sibling. Because there is gold here. There is tin here. There is oil here. Come. And this is where the heart is so huge. There is a purpose. And that purpose is, I am not doing this by myself anymore. I need you to come in here to go and reap this particular prosperity together. So that's the first wave. People's heart are very big. Now comes the second wave. The second wave, then we went to university, you went to university, you went to colleges, and then you go to seminars, and in seminar they teach you earn the right to go and make the most you can. And this is a hard-earned money, and hard-earned money must keep in the bank. Those days, bank gives you 10%. Today, bank gives you 3% only. But then this is hard-earned money. When this is a hard-earned money, don't simply go and spend it. Keep it. So you learn new word called selfishness. You won't send it back to your mainland anymore. You won't send it, not even mainland. Your sister, brothers also don't send anymore. It's all by yourself. Everything is all for yourself, for your family. Everything's all for your family. Whatever that you want to throw out is that one cannot be used anymore. Already rose out, then only throw out. So that is the second wave. Now we are talking about third wave. The third wave is what? The third wave is whereby you gotta go back to your first wave. Because if you are using the second wave, no matter how hard you work, no matter how good you are, you will never become happy. You will never be able to achieve that success. Why? Simply because you became so selfish. Because it's all by yourself. At the end of the day, you accumulate millions, but you are alone. Until you learn the first wave. So the third wave is that you have got to go back to the first wave where you learn. I go to work. I have already earned the money, but I still want to go back to work. It's simply because somebody needs to live on. Somebody needs to live on. Somebody needs to go on. Somebody got to go on. As our friend just now was saying that, he doesn't receive a single cent because you're already down the line in the Taiwan deal. But why are you still here? The reason why he's still here is because he wants to see somebody become successful. Because he put in his heart, his soul, his mind to make sure that this particular thing works. It works for me and it will work for them. And if it works for them, I will make sure it works for them. That's how he went out there. It's no longer about him. It's no longer about him. Most of the time when you go and see those people who come or start taking what we call the trophies. Listen, when the people go up on the stage there to take a trophy, all the time when we look at the trophy, we look at the person, how smartly he dresses, how smartly he looks, and he look at that particular trophy. Take a second look at the trophy. Take a second look at that particular man. The time that he went out there, the time that he spent, when he have to roll up his sleeves, when his hair is all shambles, when he is sweating away, when he is caught in a traffic jam, when the people turn him down, when the people rejected him, all these things account for the trophy that he takes on that grand day called Recognition Day. We only saw the beautiful part of the recognition, but we have got to look deeper behind that particular recognition, that man or that lady who put in so much effort to make it work. So a bend in the road. Can we all read this? 1, 2, 3. Let's go. A bend in the road is not the end of the road. Every one of us here, as I told you, that we walk this particular path, there will be a lot of bend. A lot of bend. Some bend has got blind spot. Some bend, and until you know how to go and swerve that car. Because if it is a bend, if you don't swerve your car, you will be banko. So a bend in the road is not the end of the road. Over here, we're looking at ourselves here. When we go out there to do this business, there will be problem. There will be problem. All kinds of problems. All kinds of problems. What's our biggest challenge in selling? What's your biggest challenge in selling?
One of them is rejection.
Rejection? Okay, what else?
Buying times.
Oh, part of the rejection, nah? The guy keep quiet. Yeah. Those are all under objections and sales rejection. The biggest, the biggest is the value in selling. Now, the valley. Everybody wants to go to the top of the mountain. Everybody wants to go to the top of the mountain. But how many of us are willing to walk the valley? If you are not willing to walk the valley, you will never be able to go to the top of the mountain. That's for sure. If you want to experience the rainbow, then you must be prepared to go through the storm. If you want to have success, then you must be able to swallow the bitter pills of failure. I have often said, as far as success is concerned, 3 seconds I can express success already. 3 seconds. What is success? We can determine that. We can determine that in 3 seconds or 3 minutes. I can determine the whole success. But as far as failures is concerned, I tell you, it takes us 3 years. The whole encyclopedia can talk about failures after failures after failures. Is failure important? It is the part of our success. So we must be able to accept that failure that is going to come into our lives. That particular failure is the one that is going to prepare us for that 3 minutes success. And we go back to that particular trophy that you begin to take. When you take the trophy, don't look at the trophy. Don't look at the man with the trophy. Look at them behind that particular scene. That amount of failure that he has gone through, the amount of objection, the amount of rejection, the amount of ejections also. It's heartache. It's painful. The path, no one can walk with you. Your wife may be next to you, but she will never feel you because this is your path. And until you fulfill that particular path, you will never be able to make it to the top. So in order for us, for anyone who wants to go to the top of the mountain, be willing to walk the valley. Why? Because the valley, that's where the creepy crawlies, that's where the snakes are. That's where the thorns are. But the top of the mountain is where the beautiful view. But how long? Those people who have already hiked up to Mount Everest, Mount Kinabalu. Okay, we talk about Mount Kinabalu. They started at about 2 in the morning. And by the time when they arrived there, it's about 5 o'clock in the morning. Just for a while only, ma. At the peak, it's only for a while. Very quickly, they got to get down. Because if you don't get down, you will never be able to get down. They will have to go and carry you down. You've been there, right? So what happened is that when the going up and the coming down, those are the moments that is most treasured. The up there, few minutes is just to see the sunrise. To see the sunrise. And the same thing here when we talk about the people who went over to Nepal to go and climb Mount Everest. The few minutes, the 1 minute, it's up there 1 minute only. Because the wind, he said, the wind is so strong, It's like a piece of paper. If you suddenly let go, if you're not strong, the wind will just blow you. Just like a piece of paper, you will be blown off. So for the few minutes, it's up there, and very quickly, you got to make your way down again. That few minutes of success, we call it a 3-minute success. Where you go up there, take the trophies, and you say whatever you needed to say. But what is written behind you is that slog, the difficulties, the challenges, the heartache, the pain that you have got to go through. And that is called the valley in selling. The biggest challenge. And all salespeople will need to go through this particular valley. Some die in the valley because they cannot withstand that particular loneliness. They cannot withstand that particular difficulties, the challenges. Some just died there. Became history. A lot of us here. That's why I started off by saying there is power within you. And you must harness that power to make sure that you can climb out of that valley. The 5 aces of success. So when we talk about these 5 aces of success, it's the same thing here. When I was just talking about, I'm a hardcore salesman. I went out there to sell. And I make sure that, every time when you sit with me, if there is an objection, I'll handle the objection. I handle the objection. And he said, let me think about it. Also, I can handle the objection. Okay, let me think about it. What is that you want to think about, huh? He said, can you leave your brochure? Can you leave me something? Can. I leave you something. And then I walk a few steps away. Then I come back. What is that you have got to think over? Huh? Yeah. So objection after objection after objection. So no, I handle the objection. Why we are trained to do that? Now, what happened here is that I gotta have this mind change, the changer now. This game must have a changer. So this game changer comes in with, I need to go out there to recruit. I need to go out there and start having a different mind shift now. My mind shift is that now I have got to start to look for key people. I got to start looking for key leader. I just got to start to look for networker. I got to start to look for people who are able to go out there to build the business. Why? Because those people that I sell or selected people all has got the money. 6620 is not a problem to them. So they just take and buy, no problem. But now it's come to a place whereby I have got to start making changes. That changes is that I have to start looking for leaders now. You will have to start looking for leaders because it is from this particular area and that you begin to enlarge your business. So when we look into this area, and I have totally forgotten that I have written this in my in my book called 52 Ways to Make More Money in Network Marketing. The first, there are 5 aces. There are 5 aces. How many aces are there in a deck of cards? 4. Huh? 4. 4 or 5? How come you know? You are not supposed to touch the card. There are 4. But over here, we have 5 aces. The first ace that we're looking at, the first ace. If you're talking about 5 aces of success, this is the first print that I put right from the page 1 on the preface of my book. The first ace is what? The first ace is the company. It's got to be a reputable company. It's got to be a company that is reputable. It has got to be a company that is strong. Is 𝐒𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐿𝐴 a strong company? Yes. It's 49 years. I was just talking to another friend. We're trying to recruit this friend. He said, hey, are you sure this is a genuine company? I said, hello, it's 49 years. He said, public bank also many years. In Nigeria also got public bank. Fake one. Like that also can. After that, I said, you go back and check. Like, you go back and check. Then later on, he said, please go and tell auntie. I'm going to tell my wife. Please tell auntie. Okay, 𝐼𝐚𢐧𝐻𝐢𝐧𝐿 is a genuine company. Oh, we knew that lah. So the first ace is the company. The company is got to be strong. The company is going to be strong. And not only the company is going to be strong, the company must have got backup, meaning that it's got branches. Not only the branches, that it's got the, we call it a connection. The company must have the connection so that you will have the international sponsoring network. You can have the international sponsoring network. So the company is strong. Not only the company must be strong, it has got branches. With the branches, then it can come out with this marketing plan, one marketing plan that everybody uses. Number 2. Beside the company, then you must come a product. A product that is genuine, a product that is good, a product that is called premium, a product that can never be found by another organization, meaning that there is no competitors. In terms of Kangen, the medical device, is there anything that can come close to that? Somebody say, 𝐒𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐢𝐧𝐿 also can, or 𝐒𝐚𝐢𝐳 also can. Then next you will be telling Causeway also can. We're talking about 𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐺𝑠. 𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐺𝑠, is this one and only? Yeah. 𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐺𝑠 is also one and only. The Kangen is one and only. So we're talking about the uniqueness of that product. The uniqueness. The second thing, the second ace is called the uniqueness of the product. And the third, a lucrative marketing plan. A marketing plan that can make money. The first thing, when my wife came back with this particular device called 𝐴𝐺𝐺𝑠, she bought it for my granddaughter. And first thing she told me, I just bought this particular gadget. And I look at it, I said, what is this, pencil box or what? He said, no, it is something very good. I said, how good is very good? I said, who did you buy it from? He said, buy it from Belinda. Okay, I know Belinda personally, ma. Doesn't matter. And what's the price, huh? She told me the price. I nearly died a heart attack because men of that age. 6620. Then I said, okay, can you get Belinda's husband, Nick, to come and explain to me exactly how this thing works and how the marketing plan works. So Nick came and Nick explained the marketing plan. Then I look at the marketing plan. You see, as a corporate consultant that I've been doing a lot of consulting work for a lot of companies, we study a lot of marketing plan. The yo-yo plan, the top heavy, bottom heavy, the binary kind of plans, all kinds of plans. Then this is something whereby direct sales, indirect sales, group sales. Then I look at it. Hey, this one can do. I was telling her, this one can do. Maybe we can try. But because it's so unique, I said, maybe we can do. And that's how we went out there for almost close to 2 over months. We sold about 30 over units. Yeah. What I was saying here is that when you have the conviction, when you have the belief, when you have that convictions, you want to go out there to make things happen. And so I was very selective. I call up, I sit down there, I make phone calls, and from 5 a.m. I start writing to people. I'm going to see you on this day, cannot this day on this. I was doing this from 5 a.m. until about 10 o'clock in the afternoon, morning, from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. It was just writing to everyone, lock appointment. So it's just going, and I was very choosy lah. Only those people I got money one, I don't want to see them. No money one, I don't want to see. And I sold quite a lot. I sold quite a lot, frankly. So the next ace that we're looking at is the support group. The next ace that we're looking at is a support group. So the first one is what? First ace is what? Company. Second, product. Third, marketing plan. Fourth, the support group. So you are in a group. I'm quite happy. I'm very happy to be part of this group with Nick, and then from Nick I came to know Simon. From Simon I came to know Ming-Wei. We were together yesterday also with Ming-Wei. There's a lot of support lah. They are just very supportive people, very encouraging, very inspiring. All the time is just like trying to help you to build this particular business. Yeah, I'm sure whatever we sell, I'm not too sure whether he got any points or not. I don't think he has got anything anyway. But still he goes out there just like that friend of ours. Now, the next one that we're talking about is the training. The last part, the last ace is called training. We need to have that training. And constantly on every Wednesday, it seems that every Wednesday there is training over here provided. I just understood from Nick. Every Wednesday they provide that kind of training, and every Tuesday, yesterday was Tuesday. Tuesday night there was training provided by Simon. So these are what we call the 5 aces. You want to join a company, you look at the 5 aces first. And if any one of the aces is not strong enough, you better don't go in. So these 5 aces convinced me that this is the right company for me to go in. That's how I got involved in this, okay? So, again, tenacity. So the value in selling is the tenacity. That means the perseverance, the difficulties, the challenges, the kind of pain that you are going through, the tenacity. So over here, we're looking at the tenacity. We're going to talk about the tenacity here. Before we talk about tenacity, let me just bring you the Gold King Mine. This is in Denver. This is a real story, a beautiful story about a general manager who works for a gold mine company called the Gold King Mine, M-I-N-E. Now, the Gold King Mine, it's a conglomerate. It's a big company that has been oring this particular land for almost 15 years. Amount of gold that they have dug up and they sold. And one day, the company decided to call it a day because there is no more gold in that land anymore. It became a useless land. It became a useless land. And everyone agreed, and they all took their, what we call dividends, very happily. All the shareholders were very happy. They have got another land to go. They got another land to go and all. So the company was prepared to leave this particular land, except for this family, this particular family, the Smith family. 3 children, husband and wife, the Smith family. Mr. Smith was the general manager of that company. Mr. Smith says to the company, don't make that mistake. There is still gold underneath here. We still got another few more years where we can ore. There is still gold. But the resolution has passed. Everybody was so happy. Dividends taken. Everybody is just waiting for the new land. They want to go to the new site. So the Smith family was the only one who opposed, but the Smith family says, I'm not going. But in view of my contributions to the company, could you sell the land to me as cheap as possible? And as far as that particular company is concerned, this is a useless land. After you already is a useless land. And he said, okay, we'll sell you cheap. Machinery, you cannot buy because machinery, they still need to use the machinery over the other land. Now, this is where he brought up this mine. And with 5 of them, every day they were out there digging, using chanko, using wheelbarrow, digging deeper and deeper and deeper every day. The children go to school. Teachers will be asking the children, did your daddy find gold? They've been trained. No, not yet. The wife goes to the grocery store. Grocery clerk will be asking, did you have any luck? No, not yet. Sunday they go to church. 5 of them seated one area. And everyone during the fellowship time, they will be asking, did you all manage to find gold last week? No, not yet. Every Sunday they show up in church. Every Sunday they show up. It's the same place they sit. Yeah, the same place they sit. One Sunday they never turn up to church. The pastor was speaking. Nobody was listening to him. Everybody was looking at the door, whether the door is going to open because the empty seat is all empty. And no one is paying attention to the sermon. And it's just looking at empty seat, looking at the door, empty seat and looking at the door. At the end of the sermon, the pastor says, I know that you have not been paying attention to my sermon. So was I, did not pay attention to my sermon also. Because I think the Smith family has got luck already. Yeah, he strike gold. Let's all go to his house and celebrate this particular day. So which is not very far away, and then they begin to all march. The whole congregation begin to march towards that particular small hut. When they came to the small hut, the door was ajar. It was not locked, it was ajar. And they called out to Smith. Nobody answered. When they pushed the door open, the first thing they saw was Smith. Mr. Smith was lying on the floor over a pool of blood. His hand, a pistol. He shot himself. In the other hand, there was a piece of paper. Very quickly, they rushed to the kitchen and saw the wife was being slit to death. Went to the room, the 3 children, all of them have been strangled to death also. And they take out that piece of paper, and the paper says, I should have listened to all of you. I should have listened to all of you. I should have listened to all of you that there is no goal, that this is a stupid mistake that I have done. I should have listened to my management. I shouldn't have borrowed so much money from the church. I know that it would take a lifetime for my children to go and pay back to all of you. Therefore, I have no choice but to take everyone along with me. I am so sorry. The following Sunday was a very sad Sunday. You know, nobody wanted to talk about that issue anymore. After the few months went by, the issue was quietly buried together with the family. They don't want to talk about that anymore because a lot of people lost money. They loaned the money to them. A lot of people are heartache because of some silly mistakes. And one Sunday, there was a family that came in. A family that came in and sat down there. There had 5 empty seats. No one was seated. No one sat there for years. No one sat there. Then suddenly there was a family of 3, husband, wife, and a son came, took the 3 seats and sat there 3 seats. And at the end of the service, then they have this fellowship again. They were talking, gossip again. Okay, now this is the time they ask, are you passing by here or are you new in this town? He said, we are new in this town. We are given this particular rights to go and develop a mall, a small mall in this place, Denver. The construction will take place in the following Monday. So true enough, the following Monday, the tractors came, all the heavy machinery came, and they started digging. 1 hour of digging, equivalent to 8 hours of digging by 𝐭𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐭𝐢𝐲. 1 hour of digging, they hit a hard substance. They cannot dig any further. Geologists, engineer went down and checked. They found acres after acres of gold. Had the general manager stood for 1 more day, he would have found gold, right? That explains many of us here, we give up too soon. When we are at the valley, sometimes we give up too soon. This is where the tenacity comes. This is where you really have got to say, I am built to last. The power, you harness the power so that you can say that I am built to last. That I'm not about to be knocked off just because somebody put a punch on my face. Muhammad Ali, he hasn't changed his name yet. His name was Cassius Clay. The first few rounds, when he was a young boy, he was born in Chicago. When he was a young boy, every time when he goes to school, he has got to pass a certain the south side of Chicago, where the bigger boys are. The bigger boys will demand money from him. If you don't give me money, or you don't give me any food, or buns, or bread, you can't pass. It's like a toll line, like Sami Velu those days. So this toll gate is there. And every now and then he comes home with a lot of punches here, blue, black here, and everywhere. Then the mother says, hey, you got to do something. You got to stand up for yourself. Let me take you, go to this basement. There is this particular retired police officer who is running a gym there. Go and learn from him. Go and learn shadow dance, shadow boxing. Go and learn from him. Go and protect yourself. That's where he went in and started learning. Cassius Clay. And I remember that story goes that the very first time they put Cassius Clay out there, for the first time he was put on the ring. Small group of people. That particular unknown boxer that came in and fight with him. One punch, our friend KO, knock out. So they carry him to the lockers room. In the lockers room, this particular trainer was just walking towards the lockers room, and they woke this Cassius Clay up, and Cassius Clay said, I'm not going to fight anymore. This is not meant for me. I'm not cut out for this. I'm not cut out for this. And as he was saying that trainer came in, and that trainer says, I caught what you say, and I want you to remember this. Learn this and learn this now. He said, fight 1 more round. When your hands are so tired, fight 1 more round. When your feet are wobbling away, fight 1 more round. When you wish your opponent is going to give you a jab and put you to sleep, fight 1 more round. Fight 1 more round when your eyes are at the back of your head. Fight 1 more round. That particular slogan became one of our greatest lives. Now, a lot of us here also, how much time do I have? Until 1 o'clock?
Yeah. Fine.
There's some more hair. I got until one? Yeah, okay. Now, we all heard about this Thomas Edison's story before. He went out there, he did experiments. Some say 10,000 experiments, some say 100,000, some say 1 million. I don't know exactly how many. But this is not about how many he has done. Now, this particular story is going to come in new to many of you here. Thomas Edison has got a son. His son's name is called Charles Edison. Charles Edison was the 48th mayor in New Jersey. 48. You can check it out, Google. 48th mayor in New Jersey. When he became the mayor of New Jersey, his maiden speech, the first time he went out there to speak, he went out there to speak, and then he said, most of you would know my father because of the name Edison. Edison's name is not only well known in the United States, but Edison's name is worldwide. Every time when you flick on the switch to on a light, to switch off the light, Edison's name is being thought of, mentioned, and also being educated. That is how popular we were. But what you saw was the success of this man. But what you didn't see was the failure of the downfall of this particular man. He said, when I was about 17 years old, I was in the laboratory together with my father, and my father was already 60 years old. He spent 40 years trying to put the two ends together to make sure that incandescent light lighted up. 40 years, nothing works. On that particular day, he was working in that. He was already 60. He said on that day he was working inside that laboratory. And because he was already 60, he was a bit clumsy. He knocked one of the Bunsen burner that fell onto the table. The table had some liquid and it started a fire. The fire spread from one table to another and to another until he could not contain the fire, and he called out to me. He said, Charles, let's get out of the building. Both the father and son, they ran out of the building, and that particular huge laboratory was up in smoke. They were standing outside there, and Edison very quickly told the son, go back and get your mom, which is not too far away. And then he ran back and got the mother. The three of them were just looking at that building now with smoke gutting out from every window. Thomas Edison turned to the wife and said, darling, what do you see? And the wife was very compassionate and put her arms around him and said, I'm so sorry, darling. I see your dreams all up in smoke. And asked the son, what do you see, son? And the son said, Dad, it's over. This is not your dream. This is something that is impossible. You're trying to do something that is impossible. It's not going to work. For 40 years, you cannot come up with any solution. That's not going to work. Just forget about this dream. Move on. So he sent the two of them back, and then he said, I decided if this is my dream, then I'm going to sit down here and watch this dream to ashes. So true enough, the two of them went home, and Thomas Edison was there. The next morning, Charles Edison woke up. He remembered the burning site, and he jumped out of bed and he ran to the site. Couldn't find the father. The father was up on a hill somewhere, sitting down on top of a rock, looking down at the ground solemnly. Now the whole building is gone, all white. Still can feel the heat, except for some concrete pillars. Fire is still burning somewhere. Charles Edison very quickly took his overcoat and gave it to the father because he knew that whole night he was out there. And Charles Edison says, Dad, yesterday you asked me a question, what do I see? Now you can see that. What do you see now? And the father said this, I see 40 years of my mistake up in smoke. Tomorrow we start all over again. Wow. 41st year, he found the incandescent light. What does that mean to us? When we are at the valley of selling, when you can harness the power, the next thing will be sweet success. The sweet success will come after the bitter pills. Every failure brings you closer to your goal. Every failure brings you closer to your success. And that is what we call the valley of selling. Stop moving. Can we read all this? 1, 2, 3. That's what makes all the difference in your life. When you are so weak and you think that you cannot move anymore, and you just have got to go in one more round. And that's it. A lot of people give up. You see, success, when we learned about success a long time ago, success is always hiding at a corner. It's always hiding at this particular corner. You can't see. It's always hiding at a corner here. Success is always here. And here you're traveling. A lot of people give up here, some up to here. But it's actually just one turn. That's it. When you can harness your power, that's it. You make all the difference in your life. Tenacity. Let's look at how we can use this tenacity. Like, don't be afraid to fail. The first thing that we look at is don't be afraid to fail. Many times we fail. We all fail before. I remember this. It was in 1983. I came back from the US in 1982. I spent about 20,000. That was my last 20,000. And then I tried to put up a program, and that program went well, but I still need to survive. I still need to put food on the table. I still need to pay rental. I still need to pay mortgages. But I didn't have enough. 1983 was so tough. I almost fell already. And I remember there was this guy, a friend of mine in Singapore. I called him up. I said, brother, I need a small loan. He said, how much? I need 10K. He said, no problem, just come. So I didn't have money to fly in. So I took a train throughout the entire night. I took a train and then arrived in Singapore. When we arrived in Singapore, now what happened was that I have to wait for my friend. I was hungry throughout the entire night. You just don't have money to go and eat. There's canteen, but there's no money to eat. So I struggled through. So that morning, arrived, waited for my friend to come. My friend came and picked me up. I told him I'm very hungry. So he bought two buns, one coffee. Very quickly ate already, and then he took me to the office and then said, you wait. And he has to rush off for a meeting. He went off for a meeting until 3 something. Oh, hungry again now. Because the 2 bun can last how long? 2 bun very quick one. So no lunch, and then I was very hungry, but I cannot complain. Nobody to complain what? So waited, and then I told the girl, I told the receptionist, I said, please call your boss lah. I need to go back to the train station by this evening. Half the time I was waiting for what? I was waiting for the buns. I don't want the buns anymore. I'm waiting for the money. Yeah, that
10,000 check.
The envelope. Yeah, check also I won't want. I want the cash. Waited. He came at about 4 something, and I told him I'm very hungry. So bought 2 more buns for me. Yeah, okay. Now half the time I was thinking, hey, when are you going to give me that envelope lah? By the time when we arrived at the train station, and I was about to ask him already, then he went to the side pocket there and took out. Now you're all adult here, all adult. You hold the envelope, you know, it's 10,000 or 1 ringgit. Would you?
Yeah.
What makes you think there's 10,000?
The thickness of
The
bundle.
thickness, because of the bundle, right? So he gave me an envelope, big bundle. I held on to the big envelope very quickly. Do you count or not? Do you count in front of him?
Of course not.
No, it would be very rude, right? So very quickly put it in your pocket and ran to the train. In the train there, you cannot open up because there were so many people. Yeah, the scammer already started then. So inside there, okay, wait for people to come out from the toilet. No, now the toilet clear only. I go inside the toilet, make sure I could double lock the toilet. Tong, 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 okay. Then open up that particular envelope. Inside the envelope was all receipt, newspaper cutting, invoices, old bills, and all kinds of papers inside there. Not even 1 ringgit inside. I don't know whether I was crying inside there. I do not know what was going on inside. My whole world was just spinning inside there. But I did say something. I would not let this thing put me down. I would not let this incident put me down. I went home and I began to work and work hard and did not want to give up. Don't be afraid to fail. That particular failure will not determine my total KO. That temporary failure will be my startup for my next goal. Harness that power that is with you. You are built to last. Next, be better than yesterday. We have got to be better than yesterday. Every day we got to be better than yesterday. And that's how we become better and better and better every day. Imagine that I went out there to write my very first book. My teacher came to me one time. My teacher slapped me. Her name is Mrs. Giant. I call it, actually J-A-Y-A-N, Jayan. Jayan. I call her Giant because big size. We call her Mrs. Giant, and then she said, you come here. She thought I was trying to be funny. We don't know. I was only 14, 15 years old, ma. Everybody called Mrs. Giant. Mrs. Giant is here. They come here, one slap, pop, like that. One slap already, you can hear, the sound like stereo, can come out the other ear. Oh, powerful one. Then he said, but I wasn't good in my studies also. Then he said something. He says something that stuck on me for a long time. I don't know what I did in my previous life that I have to be here to teach you. Wow. I don't know what it means, but I didn't like what it sounds. I don't know what I did in my previous year, but I have to end up teaching you now. So the very first time when I became a speaker after that, when I went to the US and I saw a lot of my peers, the other speakers were having books. Then I said, I need to have a book also. I want to learn to write. So my first book called The Golden Part of Success. I wrote the first book, The Golden Part of Success. When I wrote the book, Golden Part of Success, I went to Mrs. Giant. Please edit this. I got $600 for 600 ringgit for you. The editing fee is 600. She forgotten, she slapped me off. She started praising to the rest of the teacher, this one a very bright boy. Huh? And then from that day, Mrs. Giant and I are good friends. Anyway, that was my first book. And then from then, I went on and on and on and continued to write. Nobody wanted to represent me. 1993, I became very successful. 1999, we became very successful, and then we moved over to Australia. So I shifted my whole operations to Australia, called 𝐷avidGo International. From there, we started our operations to different part of the world. And from there, Then a friend came from KL. He came to stay with us for a week. And then in that particular week, he told me that Times Publishing was looking for me. I said, for what? I don't want to do training anymore. I'm only interested in overseas training. He said, no, I think they want you to go and write a book. So we flew back, and then the first book came out under Time Publishing. Is called The Making of a Super Salesperson. Making of a Super Salesperson, the very first year itself, we sold 10,000 copies, and then subsequently we sold about 500,000 copies. And then from then, they took my book. After that, I continued to write a few more books, and they took my books to Frankfurt. Now, every publisher in town, Frankfurt Book Fair is the convention. They like to take the book there so that they can sell the copyright, they can sell their rights to the other publisher. Sterling came in. Sterling International, Sterling Publishing House. Sterling bought my rights, and then Sterling also discussed with me, let's come up with a book that has got liking by people. What is the thing that people like? People are asking me that question. I said, money. Okay, how to make money. And then we came out with 52 ways to make more money in network marketing. And that particular book went 25 countries. And one of them that just now you saw was a Russian copy. I was speaking in Amway in Russia. One young man brought this particular book out. And then I knew that my book landed in Moscow. Better than yesterday. You must be better than yesterday. Be a risk taker. Always be a risk taker. Don't be afraid. Always go out there to take risks. Take greater risks. See, a lot of us like to do the business over here. Yeah. You see Mingwei? They're going to Bangkok. They go to Dubai. Just going out there. They go to Pakistan. They go to Iraq. Gaza. Take risk, go Gaza. Palestine. They take risks. Sometimes they take about 4 or 5 months. It was just saying that in 4 or 5 months there's no sales. The tenacity. That's the value we're looking at, the value of selling. And you go in, harness that power, and it will eventually become your success. Don't take it too personally. These objections that comes in, don't take it too personally. They don't know you. They reject simply because of rejections. They object simply because of objection. Clients, customers, and what we call prospect. Objections means what? Objections means I am not fully understood. I am not fully understood what you are saying. Repeat again. So you redo. If you can take that as an attitude rather than, no money, you tell me no money lah. Why you say no budget? Don't take it too personally. Next, stay fit. You gotta stay fit. I think it's important because by the time when you are old enough, you want to enjoy this particular life, and you got to be fit enough to go and enjoy life. I was writing a book on this particular old man who is a billionaire in Singapore. He was 97 years old, and he was still playing golf, but all his golf kaki all died already because 97 ma. So he was playing golf with the younger people. Who are the younger people? All his friends' grandchildren. Yeah. Tenacity, once again, here we're looking at a stronger foundation support group. You got to have this group. Or when you become the leader, you got to make sure that you are able to support them. You got to come up with activities whereby you can gather them together. Yeah, do a lot of things and have a lot of fun. Next, stay focused. Stay focused in whatever that you are doing. What we're looking at here is that don't take your eyes away from your destinations. You came in here for a purpose, and the purpose is to make money. By means, go out there to earn as much as you can. but without losing that focus. By means, you go and continue to earn as much as you can, but don't take your eyes off that particular focus. Why? Because that is your original idea of why you came into this business. But along the way, you will be making friends. Along the ways that you will be having a group of people. Along the way that you will have to have activities, and you work with them. Benchmark for progress. What is a benchmark for your progress? A lot of us here is 6A2-3. That is the benchmark. So, I don't know, maybe you're already there. That's why you don't look so excited. Why do you get started in this particular first place? Every time when you fail, every time when you want to give up, every time when you say, I have enough already. Hey, to me, as far as I'm concerned, 70 years old already, hello. I'm already 70. I've already done all that I needed to do. I've already got everything all in place. I don't need to, in English, I don't need this shit. Excuse me. I don't need this particular trouble. I don't need to go through all this trouble. But what happened here is, why did I get started? I get started simply because I like that product. I get started simply because that particular product is able to help people. I get started simply because I want Judy to be able to go out there and build a business also for her. Definitely I will die before her, ma. Hey, it's a young girl, hello. Okay. Let's read one more time, listen. Now, let me just very quickly, I got about 10 minutes to just explain to you. 𝐼𝐴𝐳𝐭 is our program. It stands for Ambassador of Motivation David Goh. We founded the program 26 years ago. In this particular program, we concentrate on 3 words: power, professional, and passions. Professionalism and passions. Where you come out and you spoke. What was my first thing that I spoke this morning when I came in? The Japanese raised a tree and it was called a bonsai tree. So there's this power that comes in. You gotta go in there and speak with that particular power so that people will remember. 𝐼𝐴𝐳𝐭 was founded 26 years ago, coached over 27,000 students from all over the world. This is my partner. I don't own 𝐼𝐴𝐳𝐭 anymore. I sold it to him. He is my master trainer. So it has gone to about workshop in several countries: Thailand, China, Taiwan, Australia, Russia, Canada, and mostly in our homeland in Malaysia. It started in 1995, and 1995, right after the year 2000, we were all over the places. And then in the year 2000, I was here until 2016. For 16 years, we were back to back with all the insurance companies in Malaysia. All the unit trust company was also using 𝐼𝐴𝐳𝐭. What do we do inside? What is 𝐼𝐴𝐳𝐭? It is a power speaking seminar that builds character. See, we're not looking at person who comes in here, you come in here and then go and speak 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or 7 minutes, and then after 2 or 3 days. It's a 4 days program. Come on. In this particular 4 days, is that you start off with 5 minutes and then you end up motivating people with 30 minutes. So you go out there with the 30 minutes, but at the same time, we're not only just speaking, we're building the character. How do we build the character? This is where we're going to come in. First, essentiality of power speaking that combines with mesmerizer, that you can go in there and mesmerize that crowd. Mesmerize the crowd. Mesmerizer. How do you mesmerize the crowd? So you will always remember that particular story called The Japanese Raised a Tree. It was the bonsai tree. The importance of the first 60 seconds. Why is it so important, the first 60 seconds? The first 60 seconds, if the person who is seated inside that particular room, The first 60 seconds, if you cannot convince him, he's out already. His mind has already wandered. He's already at Nyonya colors. So the first 60 seconds is so important. That's why it is important that you come out with a very powerful opening. And this is where we teach inside there. Second, how do you organize your speech? How do you organize your speech? You got your opening, body, and conclusion. What is the opening? What is going to be the opening like? So the opening must have a mesmerizer. The opening must have a power. The opening must be a teaser. What do you say in your opening? The people wants to listen more. How much of meat do you need to fill in the appetite during the body? And towards the end, how do you conclude your talk? How do you conclude your talk? Now, the method is that we lecture only 30%. The lecture is only 30%. 70% belongs to the participant. The participants go up there and speak for 4 days. The only speaking workshop that strengthens your character using the push and shape method. Ours is called the push and shape. Every time when you come out and speak, there will be an assignment given to you. If you fail in the assignment, we will push you and shape you again in that assignment. Just very quickly, I just want to run through this one. This was in the 90s. This was in the 90s. You can see this color. The guy is still very handsome. Now, in the 90s, this was the guy. Young man. He came for Amodago. After the 4 days, he came to the hotel lobby, and then I was sitting there, and then he came and asked me, do you think I can become a good speaker? Do you think I can become a great trainer? And I told him, you just have to believe in yourself. Don't have to follow my style. You just believe in yourself, continue to do it, and every day you're doing it, you will become somebody. That man became the biggest name in China today. He earns over 2 million. He speaks to audiences like 80,000 in one sessions. It's the biggest name, 𝐿𝐚𝐢𝐲𝐿, Rocky 𝐿𝐚𝐢𝐲𝐿. Next we have Money and You. This is Money and You. His name is Wilson Lin. Wilson Lin. And these are some of the people who came in and then they became gold. Incidentally, Nick is also a gold. Nick is also one of our gold. Who else is gold? Huh? Okay. Only here, you only, huh? Okay. So this one is Money and You. He started this particular program called Money and You in Chinese. And he made millions also. Teacher don't make a lot of millions lah. Teacher don't make millions. Student make millions. Okay, and then we have got this lady here. Oh. This lady. She came for this program. The daughter, Jamie. Jamie was my interpreter. She works with me all over China. Then one day when 2016, I told you in the year 2000 to 2016, we were back to back. Every day, every month we were doing this particular program for insurance company. That means we didn't do public program. In 2016, we started our public program. 2016, I told her that we have already started this public program. Please come and join us. She was my interpreter all over China. And she came, she said, I got to ask my mom whether I can go or not. She was only 19 at that time. And I said, okay. Go back and ask the mom. The mom was my student. The mom says, go. And this is the second generations. Listen. The father, trainer. Wife, trainer. She's a trainer And this is another sister going to be a trainer. And there's a brother who is also a trainer. The whole family is all in training. 4 days intensive program will change your life forever. I was only doing 1.5 million. This is Dato Sri Yakaya. I was doing 1.5 million yearly in my agency. After this program, we started pushing for 5 million, and today we're doing 12 million in total. There are 4 days in this program, in this particular programs, and I hope that you are able to join us in this 4 days program, because this is the first time we are pushing it to 𝐼𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐢𝐧𝐿. Programs gone to Belgium, Taiwan, anymore? It's not working. France, Russia, China, and every one of them, when you go through this particular program, on personal coaching. Therefore, we cannot have more than 20 people in this class. We already got 10 people in the class already. If you want, join this class. Let me give you another one. This class, the fee is 4,788. 4,788. Because it's 𝐼𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐢𝐧, and this is the first time, we're only giving you 1,000. If you want, you go and register with Judy at the back there. 1,000. And it will start on this particular Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday in our academy. Okay? Only 1,000. If you want, register with Judy at the back. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusions, let me come back to you one more time. There is power within us. Until you harness that power, the power is not going to work. No matter what kind of size you are, no matter how timid, how strong, how dynamic you may look, the power, if it is not harnessed, is just a wasted power. Thank you so much. God bless you. Yeah, hey, by the way, when you go for this program, you go into trophy challenge. There's gold, silver, and bronze. I can only bring in the silver, bronze also I can bring it, but we cannot bring the gold. The gold, there's only one class, one gold. So far, we have only 578 golds around the world. So your class comes in will be 579. So then every one of you will be receiving this, what we call the Endurance Award. You go through the 4 days, the Endurance Award will be given to you. You last, only one day you didn't come, one day you come, one day you don't come, another day you come. I can only give you one finger. Okay. Yeah? This is the workshop manual inside here. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, you got a question for you, right?
Okay, 2 questions from me. First one is, when you write the book on 52 ways to make money from network marketing, if I'm not mistaken, right? That time, have you done network marketing?
Yes. I was a consultant. When I was a consultant, I followed the distributor going around the whole country, watching them to do sponsoring. I eat with them, I sleep with them, I work with them, I play with them, yeah, that's all the experiences I put together.
All right.
I was never a distributor.
Oh, okay. Okay, second question is powerful speaking, whatever, the one that you are introducing. Is it the same as pitching? What's the pitching? What's the difference if it's not?
As a teacher?
Pitching.
Pitching.
Pitching, pitching, pitching.
Pitching sales.
Pitching sales.
Pitching.
Is it the same? Or,
Pitching, you don't need to have such a voice power. But pitching, you need character. You need convictions. It's all inside there.
Okay.
Okay, any question you want to ask Dr. David? Is a book sold here? Is your book sold here? Yeah, but she didn't bring it. You didn't bring. Yeah. Next time probably you can meet up with him. You can get a few. It's a 52 ways of making more money. A lot, few books. You can send maybe your link. Okay.
So far, I ended up 43 books I've written.
All right. So time is 1 o'clock, and before you go, you're gonna have this session on 27, 27, 28, 29, 4 days, right? It's a 4 days, and only last 10 slot only, because one session he only take 20 maximum, because we want to give value, and 4 days. I paid 4,999. So now 4,000. Say what the huh? So you can scan the QR code or the link. It will send you the Google form. You fill it up. Yeah. And today only, right? 1,000. Yeah. After today is 2,000. Something like that. Yeah. The third day is 3,000. Okay. Before we go, have you heard someone when you come on a stage or you speak to you, they say, and then okay, and then okay. Always have these filler words. Okay, and then okay, thank you. So annoying. Yeah. In this class, you kena kau. He will like chop. He will help you to clean up. I kena. Last time, I attended in 2017 after I sold out my cafe. When I started in Nigeria, I attended that class. That time I attended is crazy. It elevate my presentation, speech, and talk. That one, I tell you, you present normal. After that, something came out. It's like a white towel it throw to you. You're like, it went down. Wow, memang discouraged. But after that, you will learn how to eliminate the filler words, to have a proper presentation on stage. Anyhow, you go and check it out. You want to ask for his link or YouTube, whatever, you go and check it out. Yeah. Anything to announcement? No? Okay, then thank you so much for the time.